I think it goes without saying that marriage is bigger than just somebody's happiness. The
Oh, for
context for
sure.
which she asked the question
Mm-hmm.
was she was asking distinctly, do these men even know if their wives are happy?
Yeah. As a
That's what
matter of
she was
fact, yes,
asking.
because the conversation was
Uh-huh.
about like what he was trying to vouch for was
Okay.
that he feels like he's a good husband. And the
Mm-hmm.
dialogue that me and Bo were sharing with that man was, well, how do you know? And something that I said to him was, a lot of people want to give themselves their own report card, but have
Mm-hmm.
you ever asked her? And then, yeah, because I got a beautiful wife. I said, but is she a happy wife? That was that was the
Mm-hmm.
entire scope of the conversation. Where
Mm-hmm.
my line of thinking is you can't grade your own test
Well,
and say
tell me
you're a
this.
good husband
Is this a
because
good
you
way to
say
grade?
so. Did
Well,
she
let me know if
say
this is a
that?
good way to grade it. Let's just say for my example,
Mm-hmm.
when I get up in the morning, my wife be jumping in the bed, jump on top of me, smiling like, I'm glad you're up, smiling and shit like that. Or I got some breakfast for you and stuff like that. Like she really get up to the point where she almost get on my nerves. She'd be so excited that I finally woke up out of the bed. Is that a way to
So
measure it?
if you were to answer the question, your answer would be yes. My
Yeah.
I
wife is
cannot,
happy.
but I can say that she's happy just verbally. But
No,
Mm-hmm.
I
that's
think
what.
hold on,
But
wait. But I think
Mm-hmm.
the actions that I'm expressing to you that's happening on a day-to-day basis with my wife may be a better answer than just saying, yeah, she happy. You may look at that as you don't really know if your
but you
wife really
would.
happy.
But
Because I think Talasia's point is deeper than just answering it verbally. But if we able
right.
to communicate instances and examples of scenarios where Laisha can put herself in a woman's shoe and like, yes, if I was doing that to my man, I know I'm happy about my man. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Laisha,
So
if
it's
you
really no
respond,
other way to measure it.
if he, hold on,
I'm
wait,
just
if you
speaking on the
respond,
fact that a lot of people brag about being married. Like a lot of people will get on a panel and feel like they can express themselves and say whatever and their point is valid because they're
Mm-hmm.
married. But
Mm-hmm.
my point was
Mm-hmm.
just saying you're married doesn't make what you're doing the right way to go about it because you don't even know that other person's well-being. Like, are you happy? Are they happy? Like, is what y'all
Mm-hmm.
doing actually working,
Right.
or are you
I
just
mean,
saying that you're
yeah,
doing
but
it and it's right because you're a man saying you're
right.
doing it?
This is the reason why I don't get in people marriages. Because number one, everybody relationships is different. You can't say what's going to be happy for them. You just cannot. You absolutely
Exactly.
cannot. We have
No,
got
you
to stay out
can't.
of people marriages. We can't make comments on them. There are people out there
Mhm.
who be swinging. They married. They love each other. I know a
And they
swinging
have.
couple. They've been together 30 years. We cannot sit up here and say what works for one gonna work for the other. What may make you happy may not make the next
golly,
woman
you gotta
happy in her
listen to
marriage.
Mark.
We have got to understand that. That's for starters. And just like we want to say that, tell some of these single women out here who saying they're happy, but next they're
Oh,
overdose,
oh,
unaliving themselves. There's been 3 women
oh.
on TikTok who's been posting videos. I'm happy. You guys take care of your mental health. And next thing you know, these 3 young women unalive themselves. There's been 3 of them. So we can say that for single women as well who run around here to my I'm happily single. No, you're not. You're on
When they hit
antidepressants.
that wall,
Okay,
So
because more women are on antidepressants than men. Okay,
so
and that's
we
between the ages of 40 and 49. And that has been that is on paper.
the lady will
So
cook.
when they sit up here and say that single women, because I've heard some women say, well, single women are happier. Yeah, because you're on antidepressants. So let's keep it a buck. First of all,
Are married women not on
That's because we are
antidepressants?
well,
biologically
women, period, and that's
predisposed to
weird. A single,
depression
but
more
more,
than men.
but married women, single women are making that argument that they are happier as single people.
We
And
are.
at the end of the day, you got April Mason that came out and said, "Look, you on my couch crying. You got your Range Rover. You got to make $250,000, but you crying to me." She was a dating coach. Everybody knows who she is. She's a dating coach. She quit the industry because of us and our unrealistic expectations. She talks about it all the time. So we can get up here and holler about what's happy and what's not happy. We have got to stay out of people marriages. That's just, I'm big on that. I have friends that I talk to. I ain't talking to her today, but sometimes we're on the phone 3, 4, 5 hours. When her husband come home, goodbye. Weekend, husband time. We don't call talk. We have got to stay out of people marriages because we do not know what's happy. So I think that was an unfair question to ask her now if his wife was happy.
How is that
that's
unfair if he's the judge?
and
Of it?
nobody should ask you that either.
How is he?
My
How
whole
is it an
thing
unfair
is-
question if he's the judge of it? She didn't say your
But
wife
but
ain't happy. Hold on, wait.
But unless
Wait.
unless you're asking her, you can't go to him and ask him nothing. You gotta ask
Yeah,
her
you gotta
yourself.
ask her. You gotta
You
ask the
gotta
woman.
ask her if
So
she
if
has
he-
Woman
so would it
be
be-
lying to her husband.
easily
Hold
say
on,
yes, my
wait.
wife is happy.
No, you said don't comment on their marriage as if she
Yeah,
was
I'm
saying
saying
that the
no, but
wife.
I
Hold on,
think-
wait. You're saying don't comment on the marriage as if she's saying your wife ain't happy. She just simply asked them.
But that's still getting in somebody's business. That's still getting in somebody's business.
We
though.
get in people's business every day. You get into single people business. So
I don't get in
if we-
nobody.
if-
I don't comment on nobody marriage.
No, but I'm
That's
just talking about in general in these conversations. We get in people's business all the time. We got in Bo's business for 3 hours last week about her life and her
what you
relationship.
do, girl. I missed all that.
So
That's because
so
she
the
put
thing-
it out there. That's that's unfair.
And people
because
put-
she
He put it out there.
He put it out there. Nobody
he put
asked
it
if
out
they was
there.
married.
You can okay with that. That's not the same.
It
That's
is
not
the
the
same.
same
It is the
as
same.
willingly
If
putting
he-
information out
No,
there.
Wait,
if he
let,
says-
no,
if
let
he
me tell you why it's the same. It's the same right now because as I'm sitting here talking to y'all, I'm not telling y'all necessarily so much of my business where somebody's going to judge me, right? But what I'm also seeing is that me simply just saying I'm married has now gotten me, well, why the hell are you talking on a panel at 2 a.m. if you're married? If you're married, why is it this? Why is it that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it is people passing judgment on what they think,
They're gonna do
which
that.
is cool. I'm
They're
just
gonna do
asking a question. It's
But I
just
understand. But again,
is she happy? Is she happy?
He
Like,
could have easily said yes and left it alone, and knowing she's really not.
And when nobody has
Again.
said anything.
Okay, with his okay.
Why is
again,
it a problem if he say why? Why is it a
No.
problem if he asks you? Why does it matter?
Well, because y'all are ignoring the context
the
of the
context
question.
of the conversation
the
was
whole conversation
you can try and give me advice because you're this old and you've been married this long and you know what you're doing. My question for how do you measure that you know what you're doing? Because is she happy? You're
Because
saying
if
you
you're
know how to
married,
be a husband.
if something
Okay,
like this-
cool. You're basing that off of you know how to be a husband because you're basing that off of what? Because you say
Time.
so? Did your wife say that? Because actually, another thing I proceeded to say on the panel was I don't know if y'all remember, I said, I think it's interesting how a lot of times I hear men talk about what they desire, what they want, who they think they are as a husband, while you're probably hobbled over like some troll in the closet. Where's your wife? Put her on the phone so I can fact check
Well,
this.
let me ask
And
you
then
this.
it turned into, I got a beautiful wife. She just ain't at home.
Well, let me ask you this: Are you saying?
know y'all
Are you
stuff
saying
on
the
the
advice?
panel.
Are you saying the advice I give as a person?
No,
about the
I'm
little
saying that
dude on
man
the-
said that. That's
It was
that.
the
I'm
dude
telling you the
on the
conversation me
panel.
and that man was having on
Is
your
he
panel.
giving advice? Is he? But see,
Yes,
the
he was
Yes.
giving advice
Hold on, wait.
on your panel.
Wait.
Wait a minute. What?
Giving
Okay, hold
advice,
on.
if we giving the type of advice to help people make their women or husband happy, because he could be just giving advice on helping people find a compatible.
No,
mate.
he was giving marital advice.
Was the
What it is to be married, how to be in a marriage. And I said, well, how are you going
What if-
to say that you're entitled to be able to give that advice? Because what kind of marriage are you even in? Is she happy? You're basing that out of your own opinion of yourself as a
So
husband,
basically, hold
not
on,
your
Dr. Radio.
partner.
So hold on real quick, Dollar. So
Okay.
basically, you're saying you use the happiness thing as a response.
Yeah, that's
Say
all.
that his
Picture
advice
look like?
His advice is only have
Oh,
any.
shit.
Oh, wait, you're saying his advice that he can give only holds any merit if and only if his own spouse is happy.
If his,
That
no,
what you're saying?
No.
That is that why you use is if your wife even happy? Because
I
because
used
basically what
it-
you're saying is if she's not happy, you don't have any merit to give advice on marriage.
No,
Is that
I
right?
used it as what I was saying, right? Was something that he tried to invalidate. And my part of the argument is I feel like what you're saying would
Mhm.
not work for me. That would make me unhappy. Well, I have a beautiful wife. I know what I'm talking about. Do you have a happy wife?
Was a
Because if
picture
you
on-
came home,
Why-
what I'm saying is what he said, right? If you came home and said that to me, it would make me unhappy. How do you know that what you're saying to her doesn't make her unhappy. What you're doing to her doesn't make her unhappy. How do you know that what you're saying and what you're doing actually like is something she likes, agrees with, she wants to do that? Like, are you asking her? Have you ever considered that? And then he just tried to throw it in my face because a lot of people on TikTok assume, well, your opinion must come from not being married. No, motherfucker, I'm married. I'm married. I just don't shut up and sit down and feel like my position in my marriage is so important that I would rather be like miserable just to stay married. I express myself. I
and-
talk about my feelings.
And Darwin, he was trying to use his own life as a grading system. That's why she asked.
Yes.
If you're gonna say that this is what if you're gonna tell this woman that what she's saying is wrong, and you should look at me as the example for why you're wrong. She was asking him, how do you grade yourself on that? Because the thing is, we are absolutely right. Happiness in the grand scheme of things does not matter, right? It does not matter. The duty and all of that matters, right? Does that mean that a person still can't be unhappy in a marriage? Yeah, even if they value duty over happiness, could they still walk around with a stank look on their face, with an attitude because they upset about something? Could they still not be happy?
Yes, so they can still go through spurs without a relationship and have unhappy moments.
Right. Yeah. So when she asked, when you look at the context of the conversation, he was basically telling her that her feelings. And she was telling her that her feelings and what she would be upset about or what she would be unhappy about is wrong, and that his only example is, well, I got a wife. She asked him a simple question: is your wife happy? And he said, what does happiness have to do with it?
Yeah, I didn't know the conversation was
let Bo get in there.
Because your ass had the because I remember your ass had the screen on coffee cup mode and you weren't paying attention.
Let Bo get in there.
How you lying?